Welcome to Stronger Bones, how to build and maintain bone density naturally. Your bones are more than a framework, they are living, dynamic tissue that grows, adapts, and responds to the choices you make every day. Yet many people take them for granted, assuming bone loss is inevitable with age. The truth is far more empowering. With the right nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle habits, you can protect, strengthen, and even rebuild your skeleton. In this audiobook, you will explore practical strategies for lifelong bone health. From understanding how bones grow and adapt, to identifying hidden risks, fueling your skeleton with essential nutrients, moving in ways that strengthen and protect, and creating a lifestyle that preserves bone density, this journey is designed to give you the knowledge and tools to take control of your skeletal health. Each chapter is a step toward stronger, more resilient bones. You'll discover actionable habits, daily routines, and long-term strategies that fit seamlessly into your life. By the end of this audiobook, you won't just understand your bones, you'll know how to empower them. Let's begin the journey toward a stronger, healthier, and more resilient you. Chapter 1: Your Living Skeleton, Understanding Bone Health. Foundations of Bone Strength. Most of us think of bones as silent, lifeless structures, hard frames that simply hold us upright. We imagine them like the beams of a building, solid, fixed, and unchanging. But this picture could not be further from the truth. Your skeleton is alive. It is active. And every day of your life, it is responding to how you eat, how you move, how you rest, and how you live. Understanding this single idea, that your bones are living tissue, is the foundation of lifelong bone strength. Bones are alive and always changing. Inside every bone in your body, a constant conversation is taking place. Old bone is being broken down, and new bone is being built. This process is called bone remodeling, and it never stops. Specialized cells called osteoclasts remove worn-out or damaged bone, while osteoblasts build fresh bone tissue in its place. Think of it like a construction site that never closes. As long as the builders are active and well supplied with materials, your skeleton stays strong and resilient. This remodeling process allows bones to repair microdamage, adapt to physical stress, and respond to the demands placed on them. When you walk, lift, or even stand, your bones feel that load. In response, they grow denser and stronger in the areas that need support. When this balance is disturbed, when breakdown exceeds rebuilding, bones gradually become weaker. But this shift is not sudden, and it is not irreversible. Bone density versus bone strength, what's the difference? Bone health is often discussed in terms of bone density, but density is only part of the story. Bone density refers to how much mineral content, mainly calcium and phosphorus, is packed into your bones. Higher density generally means stronger bones, but strength also depends on bone quality. This includes bone structure, flexibility, and how well the internal architecture is organized. Imagine two ladders made of the same amount of metal. One is carefully engineered with strong joints and smart design. The other is poorly welded and unstable. Both may weigh the same, but only one is truly strong. Healthy bones are not just dense, they are well-structured, flexible under pressure, and able to absorb impact without breaking. Nutrition, movement, hormones, and lifestyle all influence both density and quality. This is why focusing only on calcium supplements or scan numbers misses the bigger picture. Bone strength is built through daily habits, not single solutions. Peak bone mass, your bone bank account. One of the most important concepts in bone health is peak bone mass. This is the maximum strength and density your bones reach, usually in your late 20s to early 30s. Think of peak bone mass as your bone bank account. The more you deposit early in life through good nutrition, physical activity, and healthy habits, the more you have to draw from later. After peak bone mass is reached, the body slowly begins to lose bone over time. This is normal. However, how fast you lose bone, and whether that loss becomes dangerous, depends greatly on your lifestyle. People who build strong bones early and maintain bone-friendly habits throughout adulthood experience slower bone loss and lower fracture risk. Even if peak bone mass has already passed, it is never too late to improve bone strength. The body continues to respond to positive signals at every age. How bones adapt to stress and weakness. Bones follow a simple biological rule: they adapt to the load placed on them. When you regularly use your muscles, your bones receive a message that they are needed. In response, they reinforce themselves. This is why weight-bearing activities like walking, climbing stairs, and resistance training are so powerful for bone health. On the other hand, inactivity sends the opposite message. When bones are not challenged, the body assumes they are no longer necessary at full strength. Bone breakdown speeds up, and density gradually declines. This is why extended bed rest, sedentary lifestyles, and even time spent in zero gravity can lead to rapid bone loss. Your bones are not designed to sit still, they are designed to work. Common myths about osteoporosis and aging. There are many myths surrounding bone health that leave people feeling powerless. Let's clear up a few of the most common ones. Myth 1. Bone loss is inevitable with age. While some bone loss is normal, severe weakening is not guaranteed. Many people maintain strong, functional bones well into old age by staying active, eating well, and managing stress. Myth 2. Only women need to worry about bones. Men also experience bone loss, especially as testosterone levels decline. In fact, fractures in older men often lead to more serious complications because bone health is overlooked for so long. Myth 3. Calcium alone is enough. Calcium is essential, but it does not work in isolation. Vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin K2, protein, and physical activity all play critical roles in directing calcium into bones where it belongs. Myth 4. If you already have bone loss, it's too late. Bones remain responsive throughout life. While rebuilding takes time and consistency, improvement is possible at any age. The role of hormones and healing. Hormones act like messengers that guide bone remodeling. Estrogen, testosterone, growth hormone, and cortisol all influence how quickly bone is broken down or rebuilt. Chronic stress, poor sleep, and inflammation can disrupt this balance, tipping the scale toward bone loss. On the other hand, deep sleep, proper recovery, and regular movement support the hormonal environment needed for bone repair. This is why bone health is not just about food or exercise, it is about how your entire body functions together. Reframing bone health as a skill. Perhaps the most empowering truth about bone health is this: it is trainable. Just like muscles, bones respond to consistent signals. Each nutritious meal, each walk, each strength session, and each night of quality sleep sends a message to your skeleton: stay strong. Bone loss does not happen overnight, and bone strength is not built overnight either. It is the result of thousands of small decisions repeated over time. Listener takeaway. Your skeleton is not a passive structure waiting to weaken with age. It is a living system that listens and adapts. Bone density and bone strength are shaped by how you move, how you eat, how you rest, and how you live. Bone loss is not inevitable. Bone health is not a mystery. And strength is not reserved for the young. Your bones are ready to respond, at any age, when you give them the right signals. Chapter 2: The Silent Thief: What Causes Bone Loss? Prevention through awareness. Bone loss rarely announces itself. It doesn't cause pain in its early stages. It doesn't come with warning alarms or sudden symptoms. Instead, it works quietly, slowly, and steadily, earning its name as a silent thief. By the time many people discover their bones have weakened, significant loss has already occurred. But bone loss is not random, and it is not unavoidable. It follows patterns. It responds to habits. And once you understand what quietly steals bone strength, you gain the power to protect it. Awareness is the first and most powerful form of prevention. Aging, a natural process, not a sentence. As we age, the balance between bone breakdown and bone rebuilding begins to shift. In childhood and early adulthood, bone-building cells are more active. Later in life, bone breakdown can slightly outpace rebuilding. This change is normal, but it does not mean rapid or dangerous bone loss is guaranteed. What matters most is how fast bone is lost and how much reserve you have built over time. People who stay active, eat well, and maintain healthy routines often experience much slower bone decline than those who become sedentary or nutritionally depleted. Aging sets the stage, but lifestyle determines the outcome. Inactivity, when bones receive the wrong message. Bones are incredibly efficient. They respond to demand. When they are used, they strengthen. When they are ignored, they weaken. Long hours of sitting, minimal walking, and lack of resistance or weight-bearing activity send a powerful signal to your skeleton: this strength is no longer needed. Over time, the body adapts by reducing bone density, particularly in the hips, spine, and legs, areas most critical for mobility and independence. Inactivity is one of the fastest accelerators of bone loss, yet it is also one of the easiest risk factors to reverse. Hormonal changes, the invisible shift. Hormones act as conductors in the orchestra of bone health. In women, the drop in estrogen during menopause significantly increases bone breakdown. In men, declining testosterone also affects bone density, often more quietly and later in life. But hormones are influenced by more than age alone. Chronic stress, poor sleep, extreme dieting, and overtraining can disrupt hormone balance at any stage of life. When hormonal signals weaken, bones lose one of their strongest protectors. Inflammation, the hidden accelerator. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is common in modern life, and it is destructive to bone. Inflammation increases the activity of bone-breaking cells while suppressing bone-building cells. Over time, this imbalance weakens the internal structure of bones, even if calcium intake appears adequate. Inflammation is often driven by poor diet, lack of sleep, unmanaged stress, and chronic illness. Reducing inflammation is not just about comfort or energy, it is a critical strategy for preserving bone strength. Stress, when survival overrides repair. Stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone designed for short-term survival. In small bursts, cortisol is helpful. Chronically elevated, it becomes harmful. High cortisol levels signal the body to break down tissue, suppress repair, and conserve energy. Bone building slows. Calcium balance is disrupted. Muscle mass declines, reducing the protective support around bones. Modern stress is constant, not temporary. And without intentional recovery, it quietly undermines skeletal health. Nutrient deficiencies, empty building materials. Bones require a steady supply of nutrients to rebuild themselves. When those materials are missing, bone remodeling suffers. Calcium deficiency is widely known, but it is only part of the picture. Vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption. Magnesium supports bone structure. Vitamin K2 helps direct calcium into bones instead of arteries. Protein provides the framework for bone tissue. Deficiencies can occur even in people who eat regularly, especially when diets are low in whole foods or when gut health is compromised. Sugar and ultra-processed foods, a costly trade-off. High sugar intake increases calcium loss through urine and promotes inflammation. Ultra-processed foods displace nutrient-rich options while adding additives that disrupt metabolism and gut health. Over time, diets high in refined carbohydrates, sugary drinks, and processed snacks create an internal environment that favors bone breakdown over bone repair. These foods don't weaken bones overnight, but consumed daily, they slowly tip the balance in the wrong direction. Smoking and alcohol, direct attacks on bone. Smoking directly interferes with bone-building cells, reduces blood flow to bone tissue, and impairs calcium absorption. Smokers consistently show lower bone density and higher fracture risk. Excessive alcohol intake suppresses bone formation, disrupts hormone balance, and increases the likelihood of falls and injuries. Both habits act as direct, well-documented contributors to bone loss. Reducing or eliminating them is one of the most powerful protective steps a person can take. Medications that quietly affect bones. Some medications, while necessary for certain conditions, can weaken bones over time. Long-term use of corticosteroids, certain acid-reducing drugs, anticonvulsants, and some hormonal treatments can accelerate bone loss. This does not mean these medications should be stopped without medical guidance, but it does mean bone health should be actively supported when they are used. Awareness allows for proactive protection rather than surprise damage. Lifestyle patterns that add up. Bone loss is rarely caused by a single factor. It is the result of patterns. Late nights, skipped meals, chronic sitting, high stress, minimal sunlight, poor hydration, each may seem small. Together, they shape the environment in which bones must survive. The silent thief does not rush. It waits for consistency. Reclaiming control through small choices. The most encouraging truth about bone loss is that the same small habits that weaken bones can be replaced with habits that protect them. Movement sends a strengthening signal. Nutrient-dense meals provide building materials. Sleep restores hormonal balance. Stress management lowers destructive signals. Awareness changes direction. Listener takeaway. Bone loss is not caused by one dramatic mistake, it is shaped by daily choices. Aging, inactivity, stress, poor nutrition, and harmful habits quietly steal bone strength over time. But the same daily habits can also protect it. Every walk, every balanced meal, every moment of rest, and every healthy choice sends a message to your skeleton. Small actions, repeated daily, determine whether bone strength is preserved or silently taken away. Chapter 3: Bone-building nutrition, what your bones crave. Fueling skeletal strength. When people think about nutrition for bone health, one word almost always comes to mind: calcium. While calcium is essential, focusing on it alone is like trying to build a house with bricks but no mortar, no framework, and no skilled workers. Bones require a team of nutrients, working together in balance, to stay strong, dense, and resilient. Your skeleton is not just a storage site for minerals. It is a living structure that responds to what you eat every day. The quality of your nutrition directly influences how well bones repair themselves, adapt to stress, and resist fracture. Calcium, essential, but not the whole story. Calcium provides the basic structural material for bones, giving them hardness and stability. About 99% of the calcium in your body is stored in your skeleton, where it plays a critical role in strength and rigidity. However, calcium does not automatically go where it is needed. Without the right supporting nutrients, it may pass through the body unused, or worse, settle in places it does not belong. Many people associate calcium only with dairy products, but excellent sources exist beyond milk, cheese, and yogurt. Leafy green vegetables such as kale, bok choy, and collard greens provide absorbable calcium. Sardines and canned salmon with bones are rich natural sources. Sesame seeds, almonds, tofu set with calcium, and fortified plant milks also contribute meaningfully. What matters most is regular intake, not occasional large doses. Bones respond best to a steady supply rather than sudden spikes. Vitamin D, the gatekeeper nutrient. Calcium cannot be effectively absorbed without vitamin D. This nutrient acts like a gatekeeper, allowing calcium to move from your digestive system into your bloodstream, and from there into your bones. The body produces vitamin D when skin is exposed to sunlight. Even short periods of sun exposure can support vitamin D levels, depending on location, season, skin tone, and time of day. For many people, especially those who spend most of their time indoors, vitamin D deficiency is surprisingly common. Low vitamin D does not just weaken bones, it disrupts muscle function and balance, increasing the risk of falls and fractures. This makes vitamin D one of the most critical nutrients for long-term skeletal health. Food sources such as fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified foods help, but sunlight remains the most natural and efficient source when available. Magnesium, the silent partner. Magnesium rarely gets the attention it deserves, yet it plays a vital role in bone structure and mineral balance. Roughly half of the magnesium in your body is stored in your bones. Magnesium helps regulate calcium levels, supports vitamin D activation, and contributes to the structural matrix of bone tissue. Without enough magnesium, calcium metabolism becomes inefficient, no matter how much calcium is consumed. Modern diets are often low in magnesium due to soil depletion and heavy reliance on processed foods. Whole foods such as nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains, and leafy greens are among the best sources. Vitamin K2, directing calcium where it belongs. One of the most overlooked nutrients in bone health is vitamin K2. Its role is simple but powerful. It directs calcium into bones and teeth while keeping it out of soft tissues like arteries. Without enough vitamin K2, calcium may circulate in the bloodstream without being properly incorporated into bone. Over time, this reduces bone density while increasing the risk of calcium buildup elsewhere in the body. Vitamin K2 is found in fermented foods such as natto, certain aged cheeses, and some animal products. While lesser known, its impact on bone strength is significant and well supported by research. Phosphorus and trace minerals, the supporting cast. Phosphorus works closely with calcium to form the mineral matrix that gives bones their strength. It is abundant in whole foods such as fish, meat, dairy, legumes, and nuts. In addition to major minerals, bones rely on small amounts of trace minerals like zinc, copper, manganese, and boron. These nutrients support collagen formation, bone repair, and enzymatic processes involved in remodeling. Diversity in food choices is one of the simplest ways to ensure adequate intake. Protein, the framework of bone. Bones are not made of minerals alone. Nearly 1/3 of bone mass is protein, primarily collagen. This protein framework gives bones flexibility and tensile strength, allowing them to absorb impact rather than shatter. Too little protein slows bone repair and weakens structure. Too much protein without sufficient minerals may increase calcium loss. The key is balance. High-quality protein from sources such as fish, eggs, legumes, lean meats, dairy, and plant-based combinations supports bone remodeling when paired with adequate mineral intake. Protein also supports muscle strength, which protects bones by improving balance, coordination, and shock absorption. Absorption matters more than intake. Eating nutrient-rich foods is only part of the equation. Bones benefit most when nutrients are absorbed and utilized effectively. Gut health plays a major role in mineral absorption. Chronic digestive issues, inflammation, and imbalanced gut bacteria can reduce how much calcium, magnesium, and other nutrients your body actually uses. Hydration, regular meals, and minimizing ultra-processed foods support better digestion and absorption. A healthy gut helps ensure that the nutrients you consume reach your bones where they are needed. Synergy over supplements. While supplements can be helpful in certain situations, bone health thrives on nutrient synergy, not isolated megadoses. Calcium works with vitamin D. Vitamin D relies on magnesium. Vitamin K2 directs mineral placement. Protein provides structure. Trace minerals support repair. When these nutrients come together, through whole foods, sunlight, and balanced eating patterns, bones receive the signals and materials they need to grow stronger. Building bone strength one meal at a time. Bone-building nutrition is not about perfection or restriction. It is about consistency and variety. Each balanced meal is an opportunity to support skeletal strength. Over time, these small, repeated choices shape the internal environment in which your bones live and renew themselves. Listener takeaway. Strong bones are not built by a single nutrient or supplement. They are built through mineral teamwork. Calcium provides structure, vitamin D opens the door, magnesium supports balance, vitamin K2 directs placement, protein forms the framework, and trace minerals complete the process. Chapter 4: Eating for Density, Daily Bone-Strong Food Strategies. Practical Nutrition Habits. Knowing which nutrients support bone health is only half the story. The real transformation happens when knowledge becomes daily practice, when meals, snacks, and habits consistently deliver what your bones need to stay dense, resilient, and strong. This chapter is about turning theory into action. Not through rigid diets or complicated rules, but through simple, repeatable food strategies that quietly strengthen your skeleton over time. Bone-friendly foods, what to eat more of. Bone-supporting foods share a few important qualities. They provide minerals in absorbable forms, support digestion, reduce inflammation, and work together rather than in isolation. Leafy greens are a cornerstone. Kale, bok choy, collard greens, and turnip greens provide calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, and trace minerals. Unlike some vegetables, these greens contain lower levels of compounds that block mineral absorption. Fatty fish such as sardines, salmon, and mackerel deliver a rare combination of calcium, vitamin D, protein, and omega-3 fats. When eaten with bones, canned fish becomes one of the most efficient bone-building foods available. Nuts and seeds, especially almonds, sesame seeds, chia seeds, and pumpkin seeds, contribute magnesium, phosphorus, and healthy fats that support mineral balance. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and fermented vegetables support gut health, which directly improves mineral absorption. Legumes provide plant-based protein along with magnesium, phosphorus, and fiber that nourishes beneficial gut bacteria. Eggs, especially the yolks, supply vitamin D, protein, and fat-soluble nutrients that aid absorption. Anti-bone loss foods, what to limit. Just as some foods support bone density, others quietly work against it. Excess sugar increases calcium loss through urine and fuels inflammation, which accelerates bone breakdown. Sugary drinks are particularly harmful because they provide no protective nutrients. Ultra-processed foods displace nutrient-dense options while introducing additives that disrupt digestion and metabolism. Over time, they reduce mineral intake and absorption. Excess sodium, especially from packaged foods, increases calcium excretion. While salt is necessary, heavily salted processed foods create an imbalance that bones pay for. High alcohol intake interferes with bone formation, disrupts hormone balance, and increases fall risk. Excessive caffeine, especially without adequate mineral intake, can slightly increase calcium loss. Balance matters more than elimination. Turning knowledge into meals. One of the easiest ways to support bone health is to think in terms of balanced plates rather than individual nutrients. A bone-supportive meal typically includes a source of protein for structure, a source of minerals for density, healthy fats for nutrient absorption, fiber-rich foods for gut health. For example, a meal of baked salmon, sautéed leafy greens, quinoa, and olive oil provides protein, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, vitamin D, and healthy fats, all in one plate. This approach removes the need for counting nutrients and focuses on synergy instead. Sample daily eating pattern. A bone-strong day does not need to be complicated. Morning. Start with eggs or yogurt paired with leafy greens or fruit. Add nuts or seeds for magnesium and healthy fats. Sunlight exposure in the morning supports vitamin D and circadian rhythm. Midday. A lunch built around legumes, fish, or lean protein with vegetables and whole grains provides steady mineral intake. Include fermented foods when possible to support digestion. Afternoon. Snacks such as almonds, tahini with vegetables, or fruit with yogurt help maintain nutrient flow without blood sugar spikes. Evening. Dinner focused on protein, vegetables, and mineral-rich sides supports overnight bone remodeling. Avoid heavy sugar or alcohol close to bedtime, as they interfere with recovery. Hydration, the overlooked bone strategy. Water is often ignored in bone health discussions, yet hydration plays a critical role in mineral transport and absorption. Minerals travel through the body in fluid. When hydration is low, circulation slows, digestion becomes less efficient, and nutrient delivery to bones is compromised. Mineral-rich water can contribute small amounts of calcium and magnesium, but the most important factor is regular intake throughout the day. Excessive intake of sugary drinks or alcohol dehydrates the body and undermines bone health. Plain water, herbal teas, and mineral-balanced beverages support optimal function. Gut health, where bone nutrition begins. Even the most nutrient-dense diet fails if digestion and absorption are impaired. The gut is where minerals are absorbed, vitamins are activated, and inflammation is either controlled or amplified. Poor gut health reduces calcium and magnesium absorption and disrupts vitamin D metabolism. Supporting gut health means eating fiber-rich vegetables and legumes including fermented foods regularly, limiting ultra-processed foods, managing stress, which directly affects digestion. A healthy gut improves nutrient uptake, reduces inflammation, and supports the hormonal environment needed for bone repair. Small swaps that make a big difference. Bone health improves through simple substitutions, not dramatic overhauls. Swap sugary drinks for water or herbal tea. Replace refined snacks with nuts or yogurt. Add leafy greens to one meal per day. Choose whole grains over refined grains. Include fish or legumes several times per week. These changes may seem small, but repeated daily, they reshape the internal environment your bones depend on. Eating for density over time. Bone density is not built in weeks. It is shaped over months and years. What matters is not the occasional perfect day of eating, but the pattern you return to most often. Each meal sends a signal to your skeleton, either one of support or one of neglect. When food choices consistently provide minerals, protein, and digestive support, bones respond by maintaining strength and resilience. Listener takeaway. Strong bones are built quietly, one meal at a time. Bone-friendly foods provide the raw materials for density and repair. Anti-bone loss foods, when consumed too often, steal those materials away. Hydration keeps minerals moving. Gut health determines how much your body can actually use. You do not need extreme diets or rigid rules. Simple food swaps, practiced consistently, can steadily increase bone resilience and protect your strength for life. Chapter 5, Move to Strengthen, Exercise that Builds Bone. Mechanical Strength and Adaptation. Bones are not strengthened by rest alone. They grow stronger when they are used, challenged, and asked to support the body in meaningful ways. Movement is one of the most powerful signals your skeleton receives, a message that says, this structure is needed. Reinforce it. Why movement builds bone. Bones are designed to respond to mechanical load. Every time you walk, lift, push, pull, or land from a step, tiny stresses travel through your skeleton. Specialized bone cells sense these stresses and respond by strengthening the areas that experience demand. This process follows a simple rule: use it, or lose it. When bones experience regular, varied stress, bone-building cells become more active. When stress is absent, bone breakdown accelerates. This is why astronauts in zero gravity lose bone density rapidly, and why sedentary lifestyles lead to fragile bones over time. Weight-bearing versus non-weight-bearing exercise. Not all exercise influences bones equally. The key distinction is whether an activity is weight-bearing. Weight-bearing exercises force your bones to support your body against gravity. These include walking, hiking, stair climbing, dancing, jogging, and most forms of standing movement. These activities send direct signals to bones in the legs, hips, and spine to maintain density. Non-weight-bearing exercises, such as swimming and cycling, improve cardiovascular fitness and muscle endurance but provide limited bone stimulation. They are excellent for overall health, yet they do not challenge the skeleton enough to significantly increase bone density. The most effective bone programs often combine both, using non-weight-bearing activities for conditioning and recovery, and weight-bearing exercises for skeletal strength. Resistance training, building bone from the inside out. Resistance training is one of the most powerful tools for bone health. When muscles contract against resistance, they pull on bones. This pulling force creates stress that stimulates bone growth. Resistance does not require heavy gym equipment. Bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, free weights, and machines all apply mechanical load. What matters is progressive challenge, gradually increasing the demand placed on the muscles and bones. Exercises such as squats, lunges, push-ups, rows, and overhead presses load major bone sites and improve coordination and balance. Over time, this leads to denser, stronger bones and reduced fracture risk. Resistance training also preserves muscle mass, which protects bones by improving posture, joint stability, and fall prevention. Impact loading, teaching bones to absorb force. Bones also respond to impact, short, controlled forces applied through movement. Impact loading includes activities like brisk walking, stair climbing, hopping, and light jumping. These impacts stimulate bone remodeling more effectively than steady, low-intensity movement alone. The key is appropriate intensity based on age, fitness level, and bone health. For some, impact may mean fast walking or stepping exercises. For others, it may include jogging or plyometric movements. Impact does not need to be extreme, it needs to be intentional and consistent. Walking, the most accessible bone exercise. Walking is often underestimated, yet it remains one of the most practical and sustainable bone strengthening activities. Brisk walking loads the hips, legs, and spine while improving balance, circulation, and muscle tone. Walking outdoors adds the benefit of sunlight exposure, supporting vitamin D production. While slow, casual walking offers limited bone stimulus, increasing speed, incorporating hills, or adding stairs significantly enhances its impact on bone health. Walking is especially valuable because it is safe, adaptable, and easily maintained across the lifespan. Stair climbing and functional movement. Stair climbing adds vertical load, increasing stress on the hips and legs. It strengthens both bones and muscles while improving cardiovascular fitness. Functional movements, such as standing up from a chair, carrying groceries, reaching overhead, and maintaining posture, also contribute to bone health. These movements mimic daily activities, reinforcing strength where it is most needed. Training the body for real-world movement improves confidence and reduces injury risk. Consistency over intensity. Bones respond best to regular exposure rather than occasional extreme effort. Short, frequent sessions of weight-bearing and resistance exercise are more effective than rare, intense workouts. Bone cells respond to change, so varying movements and gradually increasing challenge keeps adaptation active. A few well-designed sessions each week, combined with daily movement, can significantly influence bone density over time. Safety considerations at any age. Bone strengthening exercise should be challenging but safe. For beginners or those with known bone loss, low-impact weight-bearing activities and light resistance are appropriate starting points. Proper technique, controlled movement, and gradual progression reduce injury risk. Balance training is especially important, as it lowers the risk of falls, the leading cause of fractures. Pain is not a requirement for progress. Mild muscle soreness is normal, but joint pain or sharp discomfort signals the need to adjust. Listening to your body is part of intelligent training. Adapting exercise across the lifespan. In younger years, building peak bone mass benefits from higher impact activities and progressive resistance. In midlife, maintaining density becomes the priority through strength training and regular movement. Later in life, the focus shifts to preservation, balance, and functional strength. At every stage, bones remain responsive to movement. The form may change, but the principle remains the same: movement is medicine. Making movement a habit, not a task. The most effective bone-building exercise is the one you actually do. Incorporating movement into daily life, taking stairs, walking regularly, performing short strength routines, makes consistency achievable. Bone health is built through routine, not extremes. Listener takeaway. Bones are living structures that respond to stress, load, and movement. Weight-bearing exercise tells bones to stay strong. Resistance training builds internal support. Impact loading improves density. Walking and functional movement maintain daily strength. Safety and consistency make progress sustainable. Bones respond best to intelligent, consistent stress. When you move with purpose, your skeleton listens, and it grows stronger in response. Chapter 6: Balance, Posture, and Fall Prevention. Protecting bones through stability. Strong bones alone do not guarantee protection from fractures. Many fractures occur not because bones are weak, but because a momentary loss of balance, poor posture, or environmental hazard leads to a fall. Stability is the missing link between bone strength and real-world safety. Why stability matters as much as strength. Bones are designed to handle load, not surprise. A well-aligned body moving with control distributes force evenly across joints and bones. A sudden fall concentrates force into one fragile point, often the hip, wrist, or spine. As we age, balance, reaction time, and coordination naturally decline unless they are actively trained. Muscle strength, vision, inner ear function, and nervous system speed all play roles in maintaining upright control. The good news is that balance and coordination are highly trainable at any age. Improving stability dramatically reduces fracture risk, even without changes in bone density. Balance training, teaching the body to recover. Balance is not just standing still on one leg. It is the ability to sense position, respond to shifts, and recover from instability. Balance training improves communication between muscles, joints, and the nervous system. Simple exercises, such as standing on one foot, heel-to-toe walking, or gentle weight shifts strengthen stabilizing muscles and improve reaction speed. More dynamic balance practices, like Tai Chi, yoga, and controlled strength movements, train the body to stay centered during motion. These activities improve confidence and reduce fear of falling, which itself is a risk factor for instability. Coordination. Smooth movement saves bones. Coordination allows different parts of the body to work together efficiently. Poor coordination leads to stiff, jerky movement, increasing the likelihood of tripping or misstepping. Activities that involve changing direction, reaching, or controlled stepping enhance coordination. Even everyday tasks, carrying groceries, turning, or stepping over obstacles, become safer when coordination is improved. Training coordination teaches the body to respond smoothly rather than panic when balance is challenged. Posture. Aligning the skeleton for strength. Posture directly affects how force travels through the body. Poor posture places excessive stress on certain bones while weakening others. Forward head posture, rounded shoulders, and slouched sitting increase compression on the spine and shift the body's center of gravity forward, making falls more likely. Good posture aligns the head over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, and hips over the feet. This alignment allows muscles to support bones efficiently and reduces strain on joints. Posture awareness throughout the day, while sitting, standing, and walking, protects the spine and improves balance naturally. Spinal alignment, protecting the core of the skeleton. The spine is central to bone health and injury prevention. Vertebral fractures are among the most common and debilitating consequences of bone weakness. Maintaining spinal alignment through strengthening and mobility protects the vertebrae. Exercises that strengthen the core muscles, the abdomen, back, and hips, help support the spine and maintain upright posture. Avoiding sudden twisting motions and excessive spinal flexion under load is especially important for those with reduced bone density. Gentle extension exercises and postural strengthening are safer and more effective. Flexibility, controlled range, not excess. Flexibility supports balance by allowing joints to move freely and absorb force. Stiff joints increase fall risk by limiting the body's ability to adjust to uneven surfaces or sudden changes in position. However, flexibility should be controlled. Extreme or forced stretching can destabilize joints and increase injury risk. Gentle stretching, dynamic mobility exercises, and movement through comfortable ranges improve joint health and movement confidence. Flexibility should support stability, not compromise it. Joint support, muscles as shock absorbers. Strong muscles around joints act as natural shock absorbers, protecting bones during movement. Weak or imbalanced muscles place stress directly on bones and ligaments. Strengthening muscles around the ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders improves joint stability and balance. This reduces the chance of missteps and protects bones during daily activities. Joint health is a partnership between strength, mobility, and control. Creating a safer home environment. Many falls occur at home, often in familiar spaces where attention is relaxed. Simple environmental changes can dramatically reduce risk. Ensure walkways are clear of clutter. Secure loose rugs or remove them entirely. Improve lighting in hallways, staircases, and bathrooms. Install handrails where needed. Non-slip mats in the bathroom, supportive footwear, and stable furniture provide additional protection. These changes do not limit independence, they preserve it. Vision, footwear, and awareness. Good vision plays a crucial role in balance. Regular eye checks and appropriate lighting reduce misjudgments of distance and obstacles. Footwear should provide stability, grip, and proper fit. Slippery soles or worn shoes increase fall risk significantly. Mindful movement, paying attention during transitions like standing up, turning, or stepping down, reduces sudden loss of balance. confidence and fear of falling. Fear of falling often leads to reduced movement, which weakens muscles and worsens balance. This creates a cycle that increases fall risk. Building balance, strength, and coordination restores confidence. Confident movement is controlled movement, and controlled movement protects bones. Integrating stability into daily life. Balance and posture training do not require special equipment or long sessions. Standing on one leg while brushing teeth, sitting tall during meals, or practicing controlled movements during daily tasks all reinforce stability. Consistency matters more than intensity. Listener takeaway. Strong bones need more than density, they need protection. Balance training improves recovery from instability. Good posture aligns the skeleton for efficient support. Flexibility and joint strength allow safe movement. A safer environment reduces unnecessary risk. When movement is stable and surroundings are supportive, bones are far less likely to face sudden, damaging forces. Strong bones need stable movement and smart protection. Chapter 7: Lifestyle Secrets that Preserve Bone Density. Whole life bone health. When most people think about bone health, they focus on nutrition and exercise. While these are essential, bones respond to far more than calcium, vitamin D, or a few weight-bearing exercises. They respond to the way you live every day. Sleep, stress, activity patterns, sunlight exposure, and recovery all send powerful signals to your skeleton, telling it whether to build, maintain, or break down. Sleep and recovery, the silent builders. Bones are living tissue, constantly remodeling. But this process does not happen only while you are awake. The majority of bone repair occurs during sleep, when the body shifts into restorative mode. Growth hormone, a key regulator of bone formation, is released primarily during deep sleep. Poor sleep disrupts this release, slowing bone remodeling and reducing mineral deposition. Chronic sleep deprivation also affects hormones that influence calcium balance and bone metabolism. Elevated cortisol from lack of rest accelerates bone breakdown, while reduced sex hormone production weakens bone formation. Sleep is not optional. 7 to 9 hours of consistent, high-quality sleep supports skeletal repair, balances hormones, and improves overall recovery from daily stress and activity. Prioritizing sleep is a direct investment in bone health. Stress management, keeping cortisol in check. Stress is unavoidable, but chronic stress is dangerous for bones. Elevated cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, signals the skeleton that energy should be conserved, and tissue repair slowed. Over time, this favors bone breakdown over bone building. Stress also disrupts sleep, lowers sex hormone levels, and increases inflammation, all of which compromise skeletal integrity. Practical stress management strategies include mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing, journaling, and intentional breaks during the day. Even short periods of relaxation can help reset cortisol levels. Physical activity is also a stress buffer. Movement doesn't just strengthen bones, it reduces mental stress and restores hormonal balance, creating a positive feedback loop that protects the skeleton. Sunlight, circadian rhythm, and outdoor movement. Sunlight is a simple but powerful tool for bone health. Exposure to natural light triggers vitamin D production, which is essential for calcium absorption and bone density. Sunlight also regulates the circadian rhythm, the body's internal clock that coordinates hormone release, sleep patterns, and metabolism. Disrupted circadian rhythms, common in shift work or late-night lifestyles, negatively affect bone metabolism. Sleep quality suffers, stress hormones rise, and nutrient absorption declines, all of which reduce skeletal resilience. Spending time outdoors offers dual benefits: sunlight exposure and natural movement. Activities like walking, gardening, or hiking combine weight-bearing exercise with circadian support and mental restoration. Even short daily sessions can improve bone health over time. Breaking sedentary patterns, move often, not just hard. Modern life encourages prolonged sitting, at desks, in cars, or on couches. Long periods of inactivity are detrimental to bones. When the skeleton is not challenged, bone remodeling slows, and density declines. Breaking sedentary patterns does not mean hours of exercise at the gym. It means frequent movement throughout the day. Stand up every 30 to 60 minutes, take short walks, perform gentle stretches, or use a standing desk. Small, repeated bouts of activity stimulate bones, improve circulation, and support muscles that protect the skeleton. Functional movement, squatting to pick up objects, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries, also strengthens bones while integrating healthy movement into daily life. These microhabits create a constant signal to your bones that they are needed. Hormone balance, the whole body connection. Bone health is intimately tied to hormone levels. Estrogen, testosterone, growth hormone, and cortisol all influence how bones are broken down and rebuilt. Lifestyle habits, sleep, stress, diet, and exercise play a central role in maintaining these hormone levels. Chronic stress and poor sleep reduce sex hormone production, impair growth hormone release, and increase cortisol. Conversely, restorative sleep, balanced activity, proper nutrition, and stress management support hormonal harmony, promoting bone building over breakdown. Even small daily choices, prioritizing sleep, moving purposefully, and managing stress, create an internal environment that favors skeletal strength. Bones respond to signals, not intentions alone. Nutrition and lifestyle integration. While previous chapters focused on specific nutrients, lifestyle factors interact directly with nutrition. Sleep, stress, and movement influence how well bones absorb and utilize calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. For example, chronic stress increases calcium excretion, poor sleep impairs vitamin D metabolism, sedentary behavior reduces the mechanical load needed for bones to incorporate minerals effectively. Creating long-term habits. Bone health is cumulative. Small, consistent lifestyle choices made daily compound over years. The goal is not perfection but consistency and awareness. Some practical strategies include: sleep first, aim for consistent bed and wake times, even on weekends. Create a dark, cool, quiet environment to enhance restorative sleep, manage stress, schedule short breaks, practice deep breathing, or engage in mindful movement. Reduce constant mental load where possible, move frequently, integrate micro-movements throughout the day, walk while on calls, take stairs, or perform simple strength exercises at home, prioritize sunlight, spend at least 15 to 20 minutes outdoors daily, preferably in the morning or early afternoon, integrate functional activity, carry groceries, perform household tasks mindfully, and maintain posture while standing or sitting. Monitor sedentary time, use reminders or apps to stand, stretch, or walk regularly. By creating a daily routine that combines these habits with nutrition and exercise, you establish an internal environment where bones are consistently reinforced rather than slowly degraded. The synergy of lifestyle factors. The most important principle in lifestyle-based bone preservation is synergy. Sleep, stress management, movement, sunlight, and diet do not act independently, they influence each other. For example, outdoor movement improves vitamin D production, reduces stress, and enhances sleep quality. Stress reduction supports hormone balance, which improves nutrient utilization. Breaking sedentary patterns strengthens muscles that protect bones while simultaneously promoting circulation and recovery. Chapter 8: Your Bone-Strong Future, a Lifelong Action Plan. Long-term sustainability. Building strong bones is not a sprint. It is a lifelong journey that combines knowledge, consistent action, and a mindset of prevention. By now, you have learned the foundations: how bones grow and adapt, what causes bone loss, the nutrients that build bone, the exercises that strengthen them, and the lifestyle habits that preserve density. The final piece of the puzzle is integration, putting everything together into a sustainable, practical, and adaptable plan that protects your skeleton for decades to come. Creating a simple bone health routine. The key to long-term success is simplicity. A plan that is realistic and repeatable is far more effective than a complicated or restrictive program. Think of your bone health routine as a daily signal to your skeleton: you are needed. Build, strengthen, maintain. A simple routine combines 4 pillars: nutrition, exercise, lifestyle, and recovery. Nutrition: incorporate calcium-rich, magnesium-rich, and vitamin K2-rich foods daily. Include leafy greens, fatty fish, nuts, seeds, legumes, eggs, and fermented foods. Pair nutrients with vitamin D exposure from sunlight or supplements if needed. Balance protein to provide the collagen framework bones need. Exercise: aim for weight-bearing and resistance training at least 3 times per week. Include walking, stair climbing, light impact exercises, and functional movements. Add balance and coordination drills to reduce fall risk. Short, frequent sessions are more effective than rare, high-intensity workouts. Lifestyle: prioritize sleep, stress management, and breaking sedentary habits. Spend time outdoors for sunlight and circadian rhythm alignment. Maintain posture and practice daily flexibility and mobility exercises. Recovery: allow rest between intense exercises. Sleep deeply, hydrate, and manage stress to support hormone balance and bone remodeling. Recovery is when bones actually adapt and strengthen. By combining these elements into a routine that fits your lifestyle, you create a foundation that is simple, repeatable, and powerful. Tracking progress and staying consistent. How to track bone health. Exercise adherence: keep a journal or use an app to log weight-bearing, resistance, and balance exercises. Even short sessions count when repeated consistently. Diet consistency: track your intake of calcium-rich foods, protein, and other bone-supporting nutrients. Small, repeated efforts are more important than occasional perfect days. Lifestyle habits: note sleep patterns, daily steps, stress management practices, and time spent outdoors. These habits may not appear on a scan but profoundly affect bone strength. Medical monitoring: regular checkups, including bone density scans if recommended, help assess long-term results. These provide feedback and guidance for adjustments. Consistency does not require perfection. Missing a day or having an off week is normal. The key is returning to your routine and maintaining momentum over time. Bone health is cumulative. Every positive choice adds to long-term resilience. Adapting strategies for different life stages. Bone needs change throughout life, and your strategies should adapt accordingly. Understanding these shifts ensures that your plan remains effective across decades. Youth and young adulthood: the primary goal is building peak bone mass, which typically occurs by the late 20s. Focus on weight-bearing activity, resistance training, balanced nutrition, and establishing strong movement habits. Early attention to posture, balance, and sleep sets a lifelong foundation. Midlife: this is a period when bone breakdown can begin to outpace rebuilding, especially in women during menopause. Maintaining bone density becomes the priority. Continue resistance and weight-bearing exercises, manage stress, prioritize sleep, and ensure consistent intake of bone-supporting nutrients. Adjust exercise intensity gradually to prevent injury while maintaining stimulus. Later adulthood: preservation and fall prevention are paramount. Functional movement, balance, and posture exercises take center stage, along with safe resistance training. Nutrition remains crucial, but absorption may decline. Supplementation may be necessary under medical guidance. Environmental safety, supportive footwear, and vision care become essential for preventing fractures. By tailoring your routine to your current life stage, you maximize effectiveness while minimizing risk. The prevention mindset, empowerment over fear. Bones respond to signals, not intentions alone. Every choice in nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management communicates to your skeleton whether it is needed. Recognizing this gives you control. Prevention is not about avoiding all risk or obsessing over scans, it is about consistent, positive behaviors that support long-term skeletal strength. Confidence, knowledge, and small, consistent actions create a virtuous cycle that reinforces bone resilience and overall health. A lifelong bone-strong plan is about integration and balance. It combines daily nutrition that provides calcium, magnesium, vitamin K2, vitamin D, protein, and trace minerals, regular exercise including weight-bearing, resistance, impact, and balance work, lifestyle habits that support hormone balance, circadian rhythm, sleep, stress management, and movement throughout the day, recovery and monitoring to ensure adaptation and prevent injury. Here is an example of how a day might look when all pillars are combined. Morning, sunlight exposure, gentle stretching, breakfast with leafy greens, protein, and fermented foods. Midday, walk or stair climb during lunch break, balanced meal with protein, legumes, and vegetables. Afternoon, short resistance or functional exercise session, mindful hydration. Evening, relaxation routine for stress reduction, light mobility work, posture awareness, and a nutrient-rich dinner. Night, 7 to 9 hours of restorative sleep. This daily pattern may evolve, but each element signals to your bones that they are needed, nourished, and protected. The power of consistency. Strong bones are not built through extreme measures, expensive equipment, or perfect adherence. They are built slowly, steadily, and consistently. The compound effect of small, repeated positive actions over months and years produces resilience that lasts a lifetime. Every balanced meal, every weight-bearing step, every moment of stress management, every good night's sleep contributes to a skeleton that is not only denser but stronger, more adaptive, and better able to withstand daily life. Consistency also builds confidence and creates a feedback loop. Stronger bones allow more movement, better posture, and safer daily activity, which in turn reinforces skeletal strength. You've now completed your journey through stronger bones, how to build and maintain bone density naturally. Over these chapters, you've learned that bones are living tissue that thrive on mineral-rich nutrition, targeted movement, balance, posture, and mindful lifestyle habits. You've discovered that bone strength is shaped not just by what you eat or how you exercise, but by how you live every day, through sleep, stress management, outdoor movement, and consistent, intelligent routines. Remember this, strong bones are built slowly, one meal, one step, one movement at a time. The habits you choose today, however small, compound over months and years, creating a skeleton that supports not only your physical health, but your independence, confidence, and quality of life. Your bones respond to the rhythm of your life. Treat them with care, feed them wisely, challenge them safely, and move with intention. With knowledge, consistency, and patience, you can protect and strengthen your skeleton for decades to come. This is your bone-strong future. Protect it, nurture it, and let it carry you through life with strength, stability, and resilience.